fast. Happen now, of course. Don't be too quick to just write everybody off. On our spiritual growth, I mean, of course, it goes with the feeling of it, but we were taught mostly like, all right, as you're growing spiritually, you got to cut off these other people, and always remember that God is everything, and if I am source and I am everything, that means I am the lower vibrations as well. I am the negative energy as well, I mean, if I'm feeling like somebody is energy vamping me, then I manifested that energy vamp as well, but long story short, on our spiritual growth, we tend to get that vibe of like, yeah, I'm growing away from, my family. Oh man, my family don't understand me, or my friends don't understand me, so we just kind of completely remove ourselves, in a strong manner, but we want to make sure we're doing it in a healthy manner where, of course, you don't go, like, there's some people, places, and things that you just know that, all right, we obviously we can't be in the same room of conversation or whatever at the same time, and rightfully so. You gotta respect, your higher self, your growth, and love yourself to not dip back into some lower vibrational things that you no longer deal with. But at the same time, it's like I think about people back home, I'm from Louisiana, where there's people growing into these things just at their own pace. So even though I may not be vibing on the exact same frequency as them, they're still on their growth and still trying to learn piece by piece about a chakra, about a crystal. And it'll be really discouraging if say for instance, if I'm on my growth and I'm just beginning, and then the person that's from the city that I'm from is like talking down on me, like, yeah, all lower vibrations, this and that, and I can't stand, or it's like, damn, that make me not even want to continue my spiritual path or expand, or it may influence it in a harmful way, so to speak. But it is that vibration of just like with family and things, family, friends, any of these things, you don't want to just write everybody off and just like, throw y'all to the side, you still have, those connections, it's family nonetheless. And I look at the fact that, within my day, I come across people that may be, that, that smile and say, I love you and this and that, and really not about that, and they get the time of my day sometimes, so with that being said, you don't want to just, and two, I also caught like the higher self was like, yeah, you got to be careful with that, because also it's somebody teaching you to, just leave the past fully behind and don't deal with these people anymore, this and that, and it's again, this is a paradoxical universe, things are very ironic, oxymoronic. I could give you the definitions of these things right off, but you know what I mean. But they basically like it says do one thing, but then it's also saying this thing is right as well, like in this complete opposite. It's like it's a free will universe, but you also kind of got like a fate, or like 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 a prophecy to it as well. Like it's a paradox in that manner. But again, you don't want to just write off Mac Mittens. And I don't know if y'all caught Dave Chappelle last stand up. He talked about how he got his brethren from the hood named Mac Mittens that he brings to all his little meetings, and any like type of executive work or anything he does, and it's in most cases those situations may have a lot of people who are ungenuine or worried just about a dollar, or are secretly trying to oppress you, things of this nature. So it's good to have that natural, that vibe of like somebody that's authentic, even though it may be, from what we learned on the spiritual practice, is a lower vibration, because that person doesn't eat vegan food and still may drink more liquor and smoke cigarettes, but yeah, that may be a lower vibrational thing, but also somebody smiling in your face and faking a high vibration is a lower vibration as well. So, with that being said, and again, you may give those things your time of your day, especially I'm in LA, indirectly, that's gonna get some time of my day. And I think, like, been catching the omens to connect, with people back home and connect with family a little more. And again, everything in moderation, because of course, and the reason why we like this, when we're on our spiritual growth, we're deprogramming the old program and then reprogramming ourselves. So when you fresh from, having the constructs of what your family taught you, like all the hindering things that may come from our family and friends, when we're trying to grow away from those things, of course you gotta pull yourself all the way from it. Because I mean, if you don't pull yourself all the way from it, it's still gonna, still have some influence on your subconscious. But it's like, all right, after you get yourself clean, just like with drinking alcohol, after I got myself completely clean and, to that place where, like, all right, I'm good, then it was cool for me to pull a little libation with the ancestors, and kick back a little rum or something like that, because I done already, I grew past it, and I had back control. Not say control, but I just one with that soul essence within my inner being, The same thing with dealing with our, family, friends, places, people, places, or things that we grew away from. In essence, it's like, of course we grew away from it, but just don't, again, throw the baby out with the bathwater and just completely write off, everybody from my past. And I can only speak from my perspective, so it'd be like, the brethren and sister in the hood, so to speak. But that whole vibe, and again, it's a balance, because of course, if so and so gonna want to talk and God, but that's the thing too, you got to put the balance within there, because a lot of times we how can I say, we have a fearful vibe where instead of interacting with somebody and keeping it real about where we stand vibrationally, we'll just try to avoid that person, just, as a whole. But it's like, now you being fearful, you're displaying the vibration of fear. Now, of course, sometimes you just don't want to deal with certain energies. That's understandable. But at the same time, you definitely don't want to run, especially when you got a mouth to speak and say, like, hey, if you come across somebody, or like you're dealing with somebody from the past, or a family member that you grew away from, but there's still that connection, you don't want to be fearful and just run away from them as much as, you have a conversation. If they go to gossiping, like I done had this happen before. I won't say, who it came from, but, somebody went to gossiping on the phone, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, I grew past that little area, we should change the subject. Like, let's talk about something that's gonna better me and you, And then in that moment, if that person would have decided to continuously, forcefully gossip, then, that's when it's like, all right, now I, can't vibe with you right now, But that's the thing, instead of just running away as a whole, And that goes too to the aspect of, like, growing up and talking to females, it's like you're fearful running away, but you don't know whether you're gonna get a yes or no. At least speak and talk to see whether you get a yes or no when you again, from the male perspective of approaching the female, it's like being scared and fearful, but the fearful place is always a no. It's always no growth in that place, so it's just about stepping to the plate with the fearlessness, but also just the true expression of things. But to not get off a subject, just with connecting with the old, the hood vibes and the old brethren and sister, and that's, in a place that we grew away from, but at the same time not completely disconnected, because everybody on their different spiritual walks and on their different paths, you never know when you reach out back to your home state, city, a place, wherever, you know what I'm saying? How many people have grown since, the last time you've been there, or the last time you talked to somebody from back home, or, a certain person. you won't realize the growth until you know actually reach out and talk to those people, you know, or whatever the case may be. But I just caught a strong omens to just share this with y'all, so that's why, you know, I'm doing this video. Because again, logically, you know, it's like, well, why would you tell people to go back to what we consider to be lower vibrations and this and that, you know? But it's like, again, where did I learn that from? Who taught me that, you know, hey, just completely stay away from lower vibrations. We just gotta move completely away from all, you know, like I am everything. I'm everything in existence. And how could I say that affirmation? I am source, I am God, I am the universe, I am everything in existence, and then run from stuff, you know what I'm saying? Which is a part of me, you know. And of course, that doesn't mean embrace the vibrations that's killing the earth, in essence, and that's gonna, you know, bring lower vibrations in a detrimental type of way. But you know, it also doesn't mean, again, to just like trash everything, like delete, you know, without checking on some things, you know. You never know how much Mittens been grew since the last time you talked to him. You might holler at Mittens, he like, yeah, bro, shit, I just stopped drinking 40s, man. Look, I put down the cigarettes, you know. And then they may be in their own way, like I done started going to church, you know. And say, for instance, of course, we trying to get away from, you know, that vibe. Not say trying to, we are getting away from that vibe and realizing that the body is the temple and that we don't have to be dogmatic or religious in our spiritual practice, because religion is a set of rules. That's kind of why I kind of drifted away from Rastafari in essence, because, you know, in some places, some of the brethren and sisters is a little, you know, too dogmatic for my vibe, and to each his own, nothing wrong with that. But again, like, you know, you might holler at Mittens, and Mittens like, yeah, bro, I've been going to church, you know, been trying to connect with God, you know, this and that, and you know, you just, they growing on some type of level. Matter of fact, when you hear that, you know, yeah, I'm going to church, that's your little vibe to speak up and be like, oh, all right, well, yeah, man, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. And also, you should check out this, that, and the other. You should probably, you know, check out The Power of Now, or, you know, check out a certain book or certain information that may help you, Mittens, you know what I'm saying? Like, help you further on your growth. So, just, you know, keep that in shit. Excuse my diction. I was like, keep that in mind. But I was like, what's a better way to express? But for lack of a better word, keep that in mind. Keep that in heart. But that's definitely a vibe and something to realize and look into. Because again, we taught to just like, and honestly, another thing that brought me to that vibe was like, here it is that I'm in LA, where everything, you know, the vegan food, all the yoga spots, and all these different things, people saying I love you about 30 times. But then when I think back to some of the connections I got back home, it's like, bro, the love would be felt even if that person drank 40s and still snort cocaine or do things of this nature, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, the vibe still had a vibe of a love, even more so than some people, again, that, you know, that do yoga, eat vegan food, and do all that. All those things just don't make you, you know, a spiritual person or put you on a high vibration, you know. Like wearing a couple crystals don't make us a shaman and all these types of vibes, you know. So that's another reason what got me to making this video, because it's like, here it is where some of these people I feel uncomfortable around, and they're the model, how can I say, the model of what we would, for lack of a better word, this new age spiritual vibe, or just, you know, just that the spiritual vibe that's going on right now. It's like, you know, some people are all of that, you know, eat vegan, this and that, healthy, but then, you know, you catch them and they don't really give a shit about people and their actions, you know, or they constantly gossiping or this and that, you know. It's like, damn, well, people back home do that too, you know what I'm saying? So it's like realizing, you know, what an authentic love is, you know, for sure. But just again, not to just write off all the people that we may have grouped away from, because it's only growing away from them in the aspect of like, maybe we can't be around them all the time now, because again, that is a true fact though to energy. And again, this is about following our heart. When you put yourself in these positions and your heart say otherwise, then and then fall back. But like my heart is beginning to have me feeling some type of way about that situation, so that's why I'm speaking on it. But again, just don't forget about Mittens, man, in the hood. Don't write off our hood brethren and sisters, because I also had omens being here in Venice, in the Oakwood area. The Oakwood area kind of had been gentrified. Now you got the Abbott Kinney area. But like I was spending time I do spend time in the little community center in the little area around Oakwood, and I come across some of the brethren and sisters that, may not be meditating every day like me and dealing with crystals every day like me, but they're growing towards it, and they're on their growth in their own little way. You know what I'm saying? Like I came across a sister, and well, the conversation just started off on the surface, talking about shea butter, and all of a sudden, if I would have looked at her appearance and where we was at in the hood, I would have thought like, oh yeah, the same old, scenario of somebody in the hood type of vibe. But then, she goes to talking about Dr. Sebi and, certain things that, if you were to judge by appearance and where you was at, you wouldn't have never thought, So that's another thing, getting those little surprise omens, Our brethren, we on the boardwalk. Our brethren just come from getting out of a fight, just finished fighting with somebody on some, gang-related stuff. But then because we didn't shun him away, so he comes up, and long story short, he comes up with that energy, like, asking to hit the herb. Man, can I hit the use asking the very strong way that had a little bit of lack of respect for our energy and the vibe we was on, and it was holding the energy of where he was just coming from dealing with. But because me and my brethren didn't just like turn them around on no strong, like, oh yeah, you just gotta move around type of vibe, we sat and talked to them for a second, not only repress that energy and calm them down, but again pointing him to the light within himself. And then he started speaking on like, yeah, bro, I know that I'm connected to God, and I'm basically like knowing his sovereign power, knowing the connection of source, and another thing too, where the spiritual awakening again, it's a vibe of dealing with carbon and neuromelanin, and not on the skin aspect. So it's gonna be some people that may not look for what we call black, that still has the neuromelanin, that's still vibing on the vibe. But that's what the vibration is about right now. It's about the vibration is raising, but it's raising through the carbon / neuromelanin within our bodies, and the people that's not tapping into it, or that has a low amount of it and they're not using it, that's the vibe that's not growing with where we're growing. So in essence, it don't matter how much skin melanin you have either. You may have a lot of skin melanin, but you're not using the high vibrate, like you're not generating the high vibrations through that the melanin within. So it's like, that's just as the same as somebody that may be considered white, and that's the whole vibe too, is getting into these places, because that's the paradox of the universe. We're all one, but we all are in a separate body as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a balance of that. Just like how we say, some people have that little vibe of like, well, I don't see color and this and that. Well, I mean, of course, I feel the vibe of the gesture you're making. Like, I get what you're trying to say, but I mean, when you think about it, if the body didn't see color, if we didn't see color, we wouldn't be able to like I say, experience all these different things and evolve. Like if the body didn't see color, how would the right nutrients and things go in the right places if it didn't, pick up on some type of vibration that's different, if everything was just great. If everything was great, and it wouldn't even be no difference between the intestines, the stomach, or the color of a red blood cell, white blood cell. And that's the thing. The problem with humans is is wanting to see color, but then judging everything by the color that you see, instead of seeing the color, but then feeling the vibes. That's the difference. It's like, and that's the lazy way about it, is just to see color, or see something and just go off of what you see. Like, oh, this person looks like they're gonna do this, so I'm gonna act like this or do this. It takes a lot of strength and practice and work to. It's not that it's hard, but it does take practice and strength to strengthen that intuition and that heart. That inner guidance. But that's what it takes. We shouldn't be lazy about that situation. And just be kind of like I used to think about, like how the cops would be lazy. Like, instead of sitting to wait to make sure, like, to do their job. So say, for instance, I think of the nightclub situation at one time, when they would just, the cops would just come out and just pepper spray the whole scene, like just try to move everybody around, instead of, since they're supposed to be the brave people, strong people that they are, instead of waiting to do their job and, stop a fight when it breaks out, they just like messing up the basically, like, the good gotta suffer for the bad, just because they don't feel like doing their jobs on the level that they were supposedly trained to do it. Like, you was trained to be macho man and this and that. And not to get deep into that, but again, for ourselves on our spiritual growth, don't be lazy to where we just like vibing off of what you see, and not really going within and dealing with the feeling of the vibe, but that's basically that's all I have to say about that. That's the gist of the conversation. Don't be afraid to give Mac Mittens a call, see what Mac Mittens up to in the hood, And again, it's the fearlessness, instead of just avoiding people. That, matter of fact, the new moon in Taurus and that whole energy, but it's like the earth. We haven't been strengthening up our root chakra and our throat chakra just for nothing. It's meant for us to be strong with our words, even if it may make somebody feel some kind of way or, differently. Hey, it is what it is, because we are here to be our, how can I say, display our individual soul spark, our unique vibrational signature, so to speak. And if we all yes manning to each other, or we all running away from each other, then there's no real growth in that. What if the sun was like the sun and the moon and the other planet, like, bruh, these motherfuckers not get with the program. Let's just move around right now, because we feel that everybody not on the vibe that we want them to be on, But the sun and the moon didn't do that to us, The sun's still right here shining. Full moon coming soon, which I'm gonna do a video about that. But it's a growth. And there's a growth for all of us. I'm dealing with this as well. Like, a lot of things that I speak on is not like, let me use the word like you or people. But in some of these instances, I'm speaking to myself. Because, of course, I'm speaking to myself indirectly, because, we're all the reflections of each other. So, I'm definitely always having myself in the mix of things when I'm speaking to it, because there's a growth for myself constantly as well, So, but, it's a think fast and a little long. And matter of fact, too, even though I didn't call the segment "Think Fast" for so long, just vibe with that. But it's definitely the thinking part should come second to the feeling part. Let us feel first, and then all that other stuff will come second in the mind. But that's basically it. throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know, you walking around being judgmental, you know, and that's for anybody, whether you're white, black. What's funny, I always white, black, Asian, like go to different, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? No matter what walk of life you consider yourself to be, you know, this message is to all of us, you know what I'm saying? And not just no particular people, so to speak. This is a message to everything that could suck up some air, breathe it out. You know, it's a constant growth, but we definitely don't want to write off, like, again, certain vibrations. You know, kind of make sure you're not just having this vibrational snobbishness, you know. I think about like how Esther Hicks or Abraham Hicks speak on that, you know, every now and then get into that vibrational snob place where, you know, where you care about your vibration so much you just kind of make sure you stand away from people that could possibly bring it down. But at the same time, you know, there's certain times and places for that, but that's not the way you would want to live all the time, because then you would be alone, you know. You wouldn't, you know, the same thing like how some people rich and by themselves in their house or don't have nobody to chill. On a vibrational level, you may feel like, oh, I gotta stay away from everybody all the time, and then you like find yourself by yourself, you know. And for me, I'm working on that part for myself, like, cause for my own walk, I do get a lot of learning and a lot of growth from being by myself and really connecting with myself and my higher self, ancestors, you know, what have you. But also, it becomes detrimental when it's, you know, I'm away from everybody for too long, you know. But then it's like just seclude myself too much. But we all have our own unique soul sparks, and we all deal with that in our own little manner, you know. But work with it in a way that feels right to you, whichever way feels good to you. Not the way universal frequencies spoke on it, not the way whoever, you know, that you may be watching on YouTube or wherever speak on it. It's like, at the end of the day, follow your heart. Peace. Happy now. Now is a vibrator, of course. We're not going too far in the future. We're not going too far in the past. Right now, that's where we at. That's another thing. We're not going too far in the past. You know, not too far in the future. You know, sometimes we get caught up in worrying about what's gonna happen next. You know, sometimes we get caught up in, I remember when I used to do this and used to do that. You know, it's all right to reflect a little bit. You know, just like I say, it's all right to check up on Mittens, you know. But, you know, always just make sure you're in the now, you know, in the moment. What's right and what feels right in the moment.